Good afternoon. Welcome, everyone. Council is convened for council time Wednesday, November 12th, 2025. Can we start with the roll call?
Counselor Young,
Here.
Counselor Belcott. Present. Counselor Fuentes.
Here.
And Chair Marshall.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any amendments to the agenda?
Yes, Council. First, I just want to, for just public transparency, if you go onto our website where the meetings are, it does have where the links are to everything. It does have some agenda items, but the link to the actual agenda did not include two of the old business items. So if somebody from the public at home was reviewing it, they're not going to see it from that PDF. But with that said, I do want to ask to remove two items, 4.2, which is the Unity resolution, and 4.3 timber sales letter. Both of those were not on the PDF agenda, but both of them actually have a little bit more work and clarification to do, and we'll come back at another time. So I just wanted to,
Great.
my apologies for confusion.
Oh, no problem. Okay, so that's that. And then we're ready for,
And I just want to make sure there's no objection for amending the agenda
oh,
for the
any
record.
objection?
No objection.
Thank you.
No objections. Thank you. Okay, let's move on to public comment. And just to remind folks to limit your comments to agenda items, although there were those two items that were posted and we have in the past allowed people to speak to those items if they come to do that. Anyone signed up?
Carmen De Leon. No, go ahead. I need to go on the way that it's on that. Thank you.
Yeah, so my name is Carmen De Leon, and I go by Mello, and like she just said, whatever I saw on the internet is it's messed up because it's not on here. So
It's fine. If you saw it on the online agenda, please speak to that issue. If that's what you plan to
okay.
do.
Well, okay, because I didn't bring my other papers. So anyways, so they said about the Tahalachi thing and the railroad thing, and they want to do that. And I just want to recollect to y'all the community of people begging you not to, because they didn't want the dust and they didn't want the destruction of their homes and property and everything going on around them. And just like I've said before, I mean, we need to preserve this earth. We are stewards of this earth and we should not be destroying it. And I do remember the community people coming in here and absolutely begging you to stop all this, whatever, all the dust coming up and all the trucks coming in and destroying their city because, a small group of people want to destroy the environment. And that to me is just doesn't make any sense. And see, I don't even see what's on here. It said something, and like I told them that they talked about changing the public speaking. And that's kind of, yeah, see, it's not on here, but I do remember seeing it on the line that it said about we want to change public comment. And that is kind of, yeah, it wasn't on there, man. It's not on this, but it was on the thing I saw at home. And I'm telling you right now that you guys represent supposedly almost 500,000 people, over 400,000 people. And when you see all of 2 or 3 of us showing up, it should be of the utmost important. Like I've told them to request a work session to make 2 nighttime evening where you can talk to the people, and then that Wednesday let them come in late because it's a long day for them. Because like I said, how do you expect to represent the public when you got 2 people showing up and 500,000 people sitting on their hands because they know talking to you is useless? And I understand that because people, they want to stop public comment. So you want to sit there and take a check and make all the rules, but shut all the public up. That's a slap in the face to us. And that's why maybe you remember when I first started, one of the first things I had a problem with was the fact that Comcast was given an extra $1 million, extra brainwash, make sure these people are plugged in. Because like I've said before.
Carmen, I think you're veering off agenda items.
Well, no, because I mean, the public testimony is important and keeping the public engaged should be a priority, not be shutting us down. And that's why I say Comcast is a distraction. I think that the phone is a control mechanism and surveillance from the government. But The people are the rulers. The people put you there. And now you don't want to hear from us?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. You're up.
Bruce Barnes,
Good afternoon, counselors. For the record, my name is Bruce Barnes. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. Yeah, your agenda items that are online are not on your paperwork here. So there's
Free
something,
to speak to them if you.
well, there's something about an increase in property taxes, I believe. Is that true or not true?
I don't know, was that listed on the online agenda?
No, not on today's agenda.
Not on,
Not on today's agenda? Okay. But there's something about cutting timber, right?
oh, there was a letter related to timber, yes.
Yeah, timber harvest. Yeah, I would recommend that you come out to my friend's property and see how timber should be harvested. Doesn't need to be clear cut, should be selectively logged, and then go through with the forestry mulcher to create habitat back for the wildlife. Because what we've got going on right now at Mount St. Helens on the Toutle River, and I would urge you to come up there and take a look at that disaster. The water has increased so much now and is pushing so much sediment down the Toutle River, and they want to raise the dam up there 10 feet tall, which is going to create a massive lake and wipe out all the habitat for the elk, and it's going to wipe out the fishery. It's a disaster because Weyerhaeuser is clear cutting every piece of timber that they can now because of the hold off boundaries that they're going to have to go by now, right? So it's increased that there's nothing to hold the water back. When you clear cut the earth and there's steep grades, it's a disaster. So I would urge you to go up and take a look at that and strongly oppose what they are doing, because that dam is not going to hold that water. It's going to break, go downstream. But the other thing I've got a question on is the developments in Hazeldale. Is that on the agenda today as well?
No, it's not.
Not
No,
on today's.
There was an earlier work session, but we don't take public comment
Oh,
during
you don't
work
take any comment
sessions.
on those? Okay. All right. All right. Well, easy enough. I guess that's it. And I guess my closing comments would be, I read a couple articles, one in the Columbian and one in the Clark County Today newspaper, about you guys being found guilty of your wrongdoing with
That's
machine.
not on the agenda.
I know
item.
that's not, but my question is, as leaders of the community, you've broke your oath of office, and I don't know how you can be doing a meeting until that whole thing is resolved. And it's very concerning to me. And the county manager and the attorney, I think that you guys should really think this out, because it's going to cost the taxpayers a bunch of
The
money.
agenda item. So
I know. Well, thank you so much.
thank you. Other comments?
there's nobody else signed up in the room. There is one caller online.
Okay.
Caller, you've been sent a request to unmute. Please go ahead and do so. State your name for the record and go ahead with your public comment.
Good afternoon, Kimberly Goheen Elbin here. Yeah, I agree with Bruce Barnes's concerns about this tyrannical government. With that said, so I'm not sure, but I'm going to ask the manager to address these questions. Please put on record that Mr. Little is absent, if I heard correctly. And I'm also asking why no flag salute or prayer during this people's business today. I'd like those answered. I'm also going to ask that my time be stopped after I'm done asking this last question, as to reiterate what the changes are on the agenda today. It was, I'm on the phone, it was a little bit squeaky. And so in good faith, as I'm here using my Public Meetings Act right, that my time be stopped. Let me know you stopped it and when to start again after county manager answers my question as to the correct agenda. Thank you. Stop my time.
We removed items 4.2 and 4.3. And those items were not on the PDF agenda online, but they were linked on our website.
Thank you, Kathleen. I appreciate that. Actually, I did print off here a couple days ago, and I do have those agendas on my printed schedule for 4.2, 4.3 under old business. With that said, again, I do concur with Bruce's concerns and the people and the public about the legalities here, or illegalities.
Chair,
I'll
point of
say,
order.
of
That's not on
coming
the
on this
agenda.
list. So I'm going to
That-
speak on the unity. Thank you.
Okay,
I'm
go
back on
ahead.
agenda, sir, Mr. Correction. So I'm back on the unity thing. I have looked it over a little bit. It's a presentation, or excuse me, it's a unity resolution. I actually, as I would read that on the agenda today, and you're not having it, of course, my grandson's name is Unity, and he is in CPS state capture, along with hurting the state, hurting my son, Cleve Goheen Rengo. So I'm putting that on record today. I'm very concerned about 7.1, the Public Works Railroad Advisory Board Community presentation for promoting the Salachi Railroad, Salachi Prairie Railroad. I called Yakult today to let their people know to listen to this, and I hope they are. I don't know, but I also have called Battleground. They were very interested. If you remember right, and I'll remind the citizens, about a year and a half ago or two, I put together the fact that you were talking about Salachi Prairie and mining, and then a few months or so later, you spoke about the railroad, and I put it together, communicated to some staff that I know in Battleground, and they wrote you a little nasty report stating that you were not
Okay, thank you. Your time is up. Anyone else?
Yes, we have 2 other callers online.
Okay.
Caller, you've been sent a request to unmute. Please go ahead and do so. State your name for the record and go ahead with your comment.
Good afternoon. My name is Mary Goody, and I'm speaking today on behalf of Friends of Clark County on the timber industry letter, which is on your agenda. First, I wish to inform the council that the Forest Practices Board met this morning, and after a very long and contentious discussion, voted to protect the type NP streams, which are the streams that are non-fish bearing streams, but flow into streams which do bear fish. They voted to protect them from increasingly encroaching DNR logging practices. And these streams are found in all of the logging done in legacy and other forests. So this is an environmental win for all of our efforts for people who are working on forest protection. And secondly, I would like to thank you for your clarity to the DNR in your letter to them, and Friends of Clark County is highly in support of this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Caller, you've been sent a request to unmute. Please go ahead and do so. State your name for the record and go ahead with your comment.
Hi there, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hey, great. Good afternoon, Chair Marshall, council members. Heath Heikela here on behalf of the American Forest Resource Council. I do not live in Clark County anymore, but did graduate from La Center High School. I wanted to call in and comment on the timber sales letter that you had on the agenda that is no longer on the agenda. First, I do want to thank Jordan on your staff. From time to time, he's kept me apprised of obviously the tour in September and the council's continued interest in this issue. So I do want to thank him for doing that. I did want to comment today on the draft letter, as it sounds like it's going to be reworked, and I think rightfully so. The first issue you should be aware of is that the turnover sale was already approved by the Board of Natural Resources at last month's meeting. So that, in terms of the prescription, can't be changed. The other thing you might want to know is that the other 2 sales listed in the letter are actually not maturation 2 sales, which that structural complexity you might remember when we went out and did the tour. So I'm not sure what the council's trying to get after in terms of focusing on mature forest, or if just the council's against any kind of forest harvest other than light thinning. It might be good for you to really think about that. I would ask that you consider consulting with foresters, industry, and maybe even DNR when you're coming up with these letters, and figure out if changes in prescription are even feasible economically, operationally, because there's a lot that goes into forestry. Also, just want to remind you, there's a lot of new people to this debate, but these forests in the management plan that they're managed under has been developed over decades as part of a state federal habitat conservation plan. That HCP has been reviewed time and time again. It's working. DNR is meeting the objectives that have been laid out. So I just would urge you to respect the process and the significant effort that have gone into those. Finally, I do want to respond to a comment I just heard. Just to be very, very clear, the type NP rulemaking that the Forest Practices Board just adopted actually applies to private forest lands. It does not apply to DNR forest lands because DNR actually already has a wider stream buffer requirement as part of their HCP. So I would encourage other callers maybe to learn a little bit more. I am frankly concerned that that type NP buffer rule could have a significant impact on small forest landowners, including many of them in North Clark County, and might drive them to convert out of forestry. So I look forward to continuing to work with you, and thank you for this time.
Thank you, Heath. Is there anyone else?
That concludes public comment.
Okay, moving on with our agenda. Old business 4.1 minutes of November 5th, 2025. Are there any corrections?
Chair, I'll move approval.
Okay, hearing no corrections. Thank you for your motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you for the second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, new business.
None today.
Thank you. Counselor reports. Go ahead.
Got a couple here. Just wanted to update the council that we had our second meeting of the Parks Task Team. And we heard from City of Camas and City of Ridgefield on the state of affairs with their parks in their city, and learned some interesting facts about their program and their needs and some of the way that they can come up with the land needed for their parks. So it was a good discussion. I appreciate all that are involved in that. And also this week, we had the Urban County Policy Board meeting. So we discussed the Battleground CMAR building again, and we did not come to any formal resolution at this point, but we did get a commitment from CMAR to investigate whether the possibility of them relocating to a different facility. And so they're going to work through that and come back to us again in our next meeting, which I think is in December. And then the last thing is I was not able to attend, but I just wanted to give a shout out to the individuals in the community that organized, a meeting regarding the power lines that are going on. And I appreciate the communication that they are having with us and keeping us in the loop with how their community feels. And that's all I have today.
Thank you. Other counselor reports?
No, just to add to what Councillor Young mentioned about the Move the Line East forum in Yakult. I had an opportunity to attend and listen to some of the concerns that the community members had. There was a representative from Pacific Corp. He pretty much answered their questions along the lines the way he answered our questions when they came up in front of us. It was great to see the level of engagement. There must have been at least 75 people there in attendance. I was only there for an hour. I understand that it ran for about 2.5 hours, but there are a lot of concerns. And so we'll hear more about it as this project potentially progresses.
Thank you for attending. If I had known you'd been there, I would have let you bring it up.
It's all right. Okay, I just want to mention that I had the opportunity to participate in the birding tour with our Legacy Lands program, and thank Audubon for helping guide the bird identification. We identified 31 species. It was a lovely morning. So congratulations to our Legacy Lands program. Anything else on council reports? Okay. Work session requests.
Yes, there is one before you. So Public Works supports our Railroad Advisory Board, and the board wants to do some community presentations next spring or summer promoting the Chalachi Prairie Railroad, and more specifically about economic development opportunities, environmental and community benefits. Understanding that, you know, some of this is policy driven by council as well. They would like to share a draft presentation with council to get feedback and get some guidance on the presentation before they go out in the community.
Great. I think it would be good for us to see what they want to share with the community. And I would support this work session. I would, though, just be cautious that if they're promoting a particular agenda, that would be a concern. But I do think probably overdue to have a conversation with the community and listen to what any of their concerns or hopes might be for the railroad itself. Other thoughts on that? Okay, thumbs up. Thumbs up all around. Thank you. Okay, policy updates. Jordan.
Good afternoon, Council. Just a brief update for you today. I wanted to give Council a heads up. It looks like the federal government is likely to vote to reopen today. My understanding is that they will be voting on a continuing resolution to fund the federal government through January 30th. And hopefully they'll be able to come to a longer term agreement, or else we'll be doing this all over again. But for the federal monies that flow to the state and to the county, the government will likely be reopening here soon. So I just wanted to give Council an update on that.
Thank you. Is there anything else?
That's all I've got for you this afternoon.
Okay. All right, then we're moving right along then to executive session. Pending litigation, RCW 42.30.110, paren 1, paren little I, for 10 minutes with no potential after action. So that would take us to 1:35. Okay.
Good afternoon. The chair has asked us to announce that executive session will be extended for an additional 5 minutes and open session will reconvene at 1:40. Thank you.
Okay, council has returned from our executive session. There's no after action. Our agenda is concluded, and without objection, this meeting is adjourned.